let's get this camera set up real quick and we can continue and get started here. How's that? A little bit more like this. All right. Cool. All right, let's do it. Oh, light's going off. Cool. What's going on, everyone? Happy Sunday. Good morning and happy Sunday. Today I'm going to be doing... Hold on, my light's like going crazy on me over here. Today I'm going to be doing the number 3 guard. Number 3 guard, burst fade buzz cut. So we're going to do the number 3 guard buzz cut with a burst fade. What's going on, everyone? Dynamo, what's going on in the chat? I see you guys. What's going on? Happy Sunday. Balint, good to see you too. Let's go, man. Let's go. So again, today, number 3 guard, buzz cut, giving myself a burst fade. All right? So without any further ado, let's get to it. Today, I'm actually going to be doing the haircut with my Babyliss clippers and my Babyliss trimmers. So I've got on the emerald green shirt, so golden green makes it look cooler. So we're just gonna do the haircut with these. So to start, I'm gonna be using my trimmers to put in the burst fade. So I'm gonna start by doing the fade, and then toward the end, I'm gonna go in with the 3 guard and clean up everything else on the top. All right, so right now my hair is probably around like a number 4 guard. So I'm actually going to be cutting it down to a 3 after I do the fade on the sides and back. So I'm going to save all that. The reason why is because I don't want to debulk all of this hair to the number 3. First, because I'm just going to be sitting here wasting my clippers battery. I'd rather just use the number 3 guard on less hair, which will be toward the end. Sweden says, please skin fade, please. Yes, we're doing a burst fade. So let's go ahead and let's get started. Let me just rotate the cameras here a little bit. Good. All right, let's do it. Let's start on, we'll start on the left side so you guys can see it. So I'm gonna use the trimmer. For the burst fade, what I like to do is put in at perpendicular lines. So I'll do a straight line just above my ear. The second I get toward the back of my head, right past my ear, I do a straight line going down. And then that's pretty much how I do all my guidelines, just doing little perpendicular lines going up my head. Okay, it's like a bunch of little boxes. So let's go ahead, let's get started. Hold on, wait. Critical component that I forgot. Please make sure when you're cutting your own hair that you put the bucket underneath you. Right? Make sure you guys use a bucket. Put that in the sink or on the vanity so that everything just goes inside the bucket and then it's easier to clean up. Yeah, glad I caught that. All right, let's keep it going. A little bit further back. Un poquito más. And that should be good. Let's do a straight line down now. let me see. Okay, that looks fine. Now let's jump over to the right side and do the same exact thing. Make sure that you're looking at the mirrors, that both sides are the same exact height. A little bit further back. About there's fine. And then a straight line down. Okay, let me see. Let's see. That looks okay. That looks okay. All right. Cool. So we got the left side there. And then the right side here. So we're literally just doing a straight line horizontally and then a straight line vertically, just going around the ear, right? Very simple. Now we do this pretty much the same exact thing, but we're putting in the guidelines. Haley, I did not cut the top yet. I still have to use the number 3 guard since I'm doing a number 3 guard buzz cut. All right, ready? Let's grab the clippers and let's go in with the lever open. So we're gonna go clippers, lever open, about, I'd say, about a pinky's width. So it's a little more than half an inch, like 3/4 of an inch, give or take, going up from the previous guideline. Okay, lever open. Okay, let's go back. Okay, that looks all right. Let me go through it one more time. Okay, now let's jump over to the right side. Those clippers are loud. Not really. They're actually a lot more quiet than other clippers that I have. I think the Glakers are actually a little bit more loud. These are actually pretty silent compared to other ones. Okay, ready? Let's go, right side. Okay. Right side is done, left side is done. Let me show you guys what I have finished so far. Okay, so this is the left side. Right, we've got two different guidelines now. Trimmers, no guard lever open. And then this is the right side. Okay, trimmers, no guard lever open. So this is pretty much the entire sequence for the fade. Now I'm going to go in with the number 1 guard with the lever open and do the same exact thing, going up about 3/4 of an inch. Let's go. Down we're doing a number 3 guard on top. Number 3. What's going on, everyone on YouTube? Kelsey, how are you? I was just saying to myself, I was wondering if Alex is going live today. Yeah. Yesterday I couldn't. Yesterday I was quite busy with my fiance, so today's my haircut day. Hello, King. Officer Tura says, do you speak Greek? I'm in the process of learning. I can understand a lot. I can read it very well. But speaking it, obviously, very difficult. I'm pretty good in Spanish, though. All right, let's go. Next is the number 1 guard with the lever open. Same exact thing, about 3/4 of an inch. Okay. Now we can jump over and do the right side. Same exact thing. there. Okay. That was the one guard. Lever open. So now let's grab the number 2 guard and keep it going. Josh Brandon, I'm just getting out of prison. I can't find no barbershop. I swear, I see the wildest comments. the wildest comments. And the thing is, you have no idea if it's real or not. That's wild. Let's see. Tanu Kumar says, bro, you have such beautiful hair. Why do you cut it, bro? Please grow it out. Yeah, for the year of 2026, I've already made it like a mandate that I'm going to be doing mostly like buzz cut-esque type of haircuts for the remaining of the year. And then come 2027, I'm going to grow out my hair and like see if I can get it to like actually grow long, like on the sides, like down to like my shoulders type of thing. Because I've never had really long hair. But yeah, that's why I'm doing all buzz cuts this year. Next year I'll be growing it out. Kelsey says, now that I have my hair back, I can start using your products again. I have plenty. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I know you had a handful of them from what I can remember. So that's good. You can start using them again. Yusuf says, the mullet was very fun. However, your tutorial was a bit confusing. Do I cut behind my ear? For the mullet, you basically stop at like this point. Like once you get toward the lobe right here, you basically stop because all you're doing for the mullet one is just giving yourself a taper, which tapers just typically are rounded like a rainbow right in this area. And then everything else is just long, right? You just blend it in from this point back. Okay, let's keep it going. I joined late. Have you already cut the top? Haley, I have not. No, I still have to use the number 3 guard on top. Right now it's like a number 4 length, give or take. So I'm going to use the number 3 guard. Okay, next is the number 2 guard. Basically going up again 3/4 of an inch, right? It's so difficult to, the sequence is very easy. The skill itself is what's challenging. So let's go ahead, 2 guard, lever open, 3/4 of an inch. And look, not a lot of hair is getting cut, so that's a good sign because it's already starting to blend. So I can actually go up even a little bit higher and start to blend a little bit more with the flick out motion. Okay, and there's a very mild hard line there. And now we can go over and do the right side. So not a whole lot of hair is getting cut off, but there is still hair getting cut. So it's definitely still a necessary step. Okay. Looks good. Now I can go in and use the number 3 guard for the top. So now that I have the hair basically cut down to the lowest lengths on the sides and back, I can go in with the 3 guard and go ahead and debulk the length on top. And of course that back strip right here. Let me just clean off my clippers, wipe my hands. Okay, so this is the left side, if you can see that. Again, these are all of the guidelines, and then this is the right side, all of the guidelines. So now I'm just going to go in, put the number 3 guard on my clippers, right? Number 3 guard. I'm actually going to close the lever, so I'm going to leave it closed, and then I'm going to use this on top. Okay, so this is going to be the whole top and the back part right here, which is a lot longer. So let's go number 3 guard, lever closed. Ready? Let's do it. This one might take a few minutes. All right, let's run back and forth. This is honestly probably the most tedious part of the entire haircut, because you're just going back and forth for minutes, making sure that everything's the same length. So let's go left to right. All right, let's try and go against the grain in every spot. Let's go right to left. Because again, your hair grows in many different directions, and we always want to cut against the grain so that it's all being cut at the same length. All right, we're almost done with the top. Then I can go ahead to the back. Okay, that should be fine for the top. Let's do the back now. Let me just wipe off my clippers. Sweep all this hair inside the bucket. All right, let's do the back. So I'm not even gonna look at the mirrors. I'm just gonna base everything off of what I can hear being cut. Oi. Hold up. Give it a good shake. Let's brush it off. And then I'll just go back and do it one more time. Okay. All right, ready? Let me just do the back one more time with the 3 guard, and then I can continue with the fade. Okay, good enough. Aaron Martinez says, y'all in the comments don't know what y'all talking about. I don't know what's going on in the comments, but apparently they don't know what they're talking about. Jonathan says, it's not a mullet, looks like a burst fade. Yes, sir, it is a burst fade. I just haven't got to the fade part yet. I put in all the guidelines, and I used the number 3 guard on top and the back, because this is a number 3 guard burst fade. So now I have to go in and blend out all the hard lines to give it the fade, right? He said, y'all don't know what y'all talking about. That's funny. Well, I got bit by a mosquito yesterday and I have this gigantic bump. He got me right in the vein. Wow, okay. Anything back here? All right, let's keep it going. Let's clean off my stuff here so I can function properly. Okay. So we have all the guidelines in right now. We've got the trimmer, no guard, lever open, 1 guard, lever open, 2 guard, lever open, 3 on top with the lever closed. All right, those are the guidelines that I used. So now I have to go in and blend in this line, and this line, and then that should be it for the haircut, right? There should be those 3 steps for the fade. Then I can go in afterwards, do any type of detail work, and clean up the line, right? The lineup. Okay, ready? Let's do it. So to get rid of this hard line, remember it was trimmer, no guard lever open. We're gonna go in with the lever halfway first. The cool thing about the Babyliss Pro FX is that it has notches on the sides here. They have the little notches right in here. So when you move the lever, it actually like stays. So we're gonna go 1, 2, that's lever halfway. We're gonna go up about 50% through this hard line with a flick out motion. It'll soften it up a little bit. Then I'll go in afterwards, close it completely, and flick out. That should get rid of around 90-ish%, maybe a little bit more. And if I need to, I'll go back after, use the trimmers with some flick out motion to get rid of that last bit of the hard line. So let's start with the lever halfway. No guard, lever halfway. Just softening up the bottom of that hard line. Dude, this mosquito bite is itchy. Sheesh. Okay, do the back side now. Okay, let's go to the right side. Soften up this hard line now. All right, back side. Hold on, let me go back to the lever open. Touch up this guideline a little bit better. Okay. All right. Now let's go in with the lever completely closed and do a flick out motion. Ready? No guard, lever closed. Flick out motion. Okay, this is like step 2 out of 3 for this guideline. Pull the ear down a little bit. Okay, that one's fine. Let's do the same thing on the right side. Thought I heard something. Yeah, this part. The lever open, please. There we go. Okay. You know, doesn't look too bad. I might not even need to use the trimmer. From what I can see. I'm still going to do detail work, but for now, that's fine. Let's actually move forward to the next one. What type of burst is this? The bursty kind. All right, let's go with the half guard now. Just wait. Remember, you can't judge until it's finished, right? You can't judge someone based on the process. You gotta judge them when they say that they're completely finished. Opa. Don't judge the process. Don't judge people when they're in the process. Judge them when they say that they finished. All right, ready? Now we're going with the half guard, lever closed, and we're gonna hit this middle hard line right in here. Okay, flick out motion, scooping in from underneath and then away. Just like this. Okay, let's jump over to the right side now. Alrighty, looks good. Now we've got one more hard line. Did I just get hair in my eye? No, I think we're good. Okay. So let's take off the half guard now. Pop this sucker off. Clean off the clipper a little bit. Always making sure I'm cleaning my clipper in between each guard. Right? It's always nice to start fresh when you're doing each new step. Now I'm going to be using the 1.5 guard, which needs to get cleaned off from all this hair falling on it. Let's put the 1.5 on. There we go. Okay. So now we've got one more hard line to get rid of. This one right here, okay? And then I'll show you the right side too. The top one right in there. Okay, this should blend in the rest of the fade, and then afterwards I'll go in and start to blend in any imperfections. So let's go in, 1.5 guard, which is the 4.5 millimeter, with the lever completely closed. Okay, let's do it. Okay, I'm going to open the lever a little bit as I push a little bit further back. Let me just clean the hair from out of the inside of the blades. Let's do it again. Again, I'm with the 1.5 lever open right now. Okay, there's the left side. Let's do the same thing on the right side now. There we go. Okay, let me go ahead and open the lever really quick. And that should be it for this guard. Okay, throw off that guard. Let's clean myself up now. So now I've finished pretty much the fade. What I need to do now is do some detail work with the fade. And I will go ahead and use my thinning shears for that portion. Blend it in a little bit better, but also makes the fade a little bit more clean. Okay, ready? Let me just finish cleaning up all my stuff here. Clean up the vanity. Alrighty. Cool. How do I skip this part? That's hilarious. I love that. That's funny. Sorry, you can't skip it. This is live. Shave the beard to be sharp. Yeah, I'm going to do the beard when I finish. Don't worry. You guys will see the beard. What was I grabbing? The thinning shears. Let's grab my... I'll be dropping stuff. Throw that there. Let's grab the mighty thinning shears and my comb. Let's do that. So, what do we have now? We've got the thinning shears and we have the comb. So there's going to be two things that I'm going to do with the thinning shears and comb. First off, I'm going to blend in the longer part up here with the fade. So I'm just going to do a lot of thinning shear over comb to blend in everything on the back too. And then I'm going to go in afterwards and do the reverse thinning shear method and pinpoint any spots in the fade that need to be a little bit more gradient. So first, let's start with the thinning shear over comb technique, and I will use, which side should I use? The more fine-tooth side. So let's go in and let's start to slowly go up with the comb as you slowly cut with the thinning shears. Just like that. Just like that. Let's see. Now let's go to the back side. This part's a little bit tricky because it's a little hard to reach. clean off the clipper, or trimmers, sorry, nope, not trimmers, the thinning shears. Can't do things and speak at the same time, apparently. Let's hit this spot right here, it needs it. Okay, a little bit right in here. Then I think a little bit more in the back, but that's pretty good. Okay, let's do the right side. Okay, now we can do the back. Okay. Yo, what? TikTok, why are you giving me a puzzle midway through my live stream? Super G-Man says, OMG, this is taking long. We're almost done. I just planned to do that, but I'm scared. What are you scared of? I've been doing this for years. And believe me, if I can do it, anybody can do it. You just gotta practice, just like everything else. And remember, don't start by giving yourself fades if you've never given yourself a haircut before. Do beginner haircuts, like a buzz cut with a little trimmer or a lineup. Do a buzz cut with a lineup, and that's it. Right? The reason why you're scared is because you're trying to do more than you're actually capable of doing. Right? Start off easy. Start off easy. That's literally everybody's mistake with everything in life. Stop jumping to do the hardest thing possible when you don't even know how to get through step one. All right, ready? Let's go ahead and let's do the reverse thinning shear method now. Yeah, remember, guys, everyone that's watching right now, this is not a beginner haircut, okay? This is not a beginner. This is not intermediate. This is literally an advanced self haircut. So unless you've been cutting your own hair for, a year, 2 years, you're not going to be able to do this the right way, or the way that you would hope it would be, right? So you got to give yourself a little bit of, humility, have some humility and understand, like, okay, let me start off with some easier haircuts first. And then I'll gradually build myself up the skills to be able to do the haircut that Alex is doing right now in this video. So, it takes time, right? But don't rush the process. The process is part of the game. Anyway, now I'm going in with the thinning shears here. See how this is how you normally hold thinning shears, with the pinky inside the pinky rest. But when I use the reverse thinning shear method, which is something that I've coined myself and that I've discovered to detail the fade, I flip them so that the hard blade is where on the bottom and the actual 30 little teeth are on the top, and my pinky is free from the pinky rest. So all I'll go in and do now is pinpoint within the fade anywhere that needs some detailing, some bulky spots on the hard lines, right? Anything that just doesn't look like it's blended very well. And I'll just sit here for a few minutes and attack all the lines that I made and just make everything a bit more gradient. All right, this is a great way to go ahead and soften up all those hard lines that you see within the fade, and it's safe because thinning shears only cut like 15 to 20% of the hair anyway, so you're not really going to risk cutting off too much more hair than you wanted to. Okay, it's risk-free. You're barely cutting any hair. So these are just blending shears, and that's all they're doing. They're helping you blend. Okay, keep it simple. And I'll sit here for a few minutes on each side, just going through and cleaning up the fade. Excuse me. How does that look? Right in here. We can get that a little bit better. Right in here. A little bit better. Down here. And then right in here. Okay, left side looks fine. Now let's jump over to the right side. Let's clean it up a little bit. Let's just double check. Just a little bit more on the back. Okay. What do you think? Cool. And so that is the fade. Now what I can do is go in and give myself a nice clean lineup on the front by my hairline, and then of course do the back. And that'll make the haircut look super duper clean. So fresh is so clean, clean. Or as my fiance likes to say, so clean is so fresh, fresh. Because she doesn't know the lyrics. Alrighty, ready? Let's see what we can do here. The lineup. Show the brush. Here's the brush. Yes, this is my neck duster. I also have 2 of these brushes, which are brushes for my clippers and for my beard. Right, I've got 3 brushes. Well, 3 total. 1 neck duster and 2 fade brushes. Okay, this one's for cleaning off my clippers and trimmers. This one is for wiping down my beard and whatnot. This one's for cleaning my clothes and my neck and I guess my clippers too sometimes. Okay. All right, ready? Let's see. To do the hairline, let me bust out my scissors, and I will use the trimmers as well. Where are my scissors? Scissors, ¿dónde estás? Okay, so let's use the big brush here. So, what I'll do is, typically, most people like to use their trimmer for their hairline here, but for me, I always like to take the safer route, and I use my little scissors here. So these are little like $5 scissors that I bought from Target when I was like 15 years old. And so I've been using them for the past 15 years. So here we go, right? And I'm just gonna use the brush down the hair, and cut as straight of a line as I can going across, okay? So I'll just position you like that, and then I'll do it like this. So I'll lightly brush the hair down, and I'll start in the center and work my way over to the corners. Yeah, I don't want to cut off too much, I just want to straighten up the line. Just like that. Now let's do the other side. Well, some of these hairs are a little long, so let me actually push this down with my finger and then brush it out like that. Okay, now let's see. All right, looks good. Now let me do the lineup for the vertical bars and the C cup, and then I can jump over and do the back. All right, ready? Vertical bars right in here. Let me use my brush, clean it up. There we go. Let's do the right side now. Okay, let's do this. All right, that looks good. Clean lines. Looks like, oh, you look like Ilia Topuria. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's Greek, isn't he? Was he like an MMA fighter, something like that? Okay, now, the fun part, where we jump over and do the back. Let's see, any questions? I'll make sure I answer all of your questions as soon as I finish with the haircut, because I should have some time, like 20 minutes or so afterwards, to answer some of your questions. Okay, ready? Let's do the back. So the back part, this is the fun part here, yes? Now, what I like to do is start from the center, work my way over, but with this part, I'm actually going to create more of like a U, maybe even like a V, depends on what I don't know, what should I do? Maybe I'll ask you guys. Should I do a more rounded back, or should I do more of like a V in the back? What do you guys think? I'll do what you guys suggest. Greco says V, Drac says V, T says V, someone says round, V, round, V, Andy says V, El Popo says V, Kelsey says round, Melau says do a M. That's funny. Tim says V here on Instagram. V is crazy. Yosi says V is crazy. V is better, bro. Round suits you better. Josh says do an A. He started listing a bunch of random letters. V would be tied in better. V would tie it in better. Okay. All right. Let's do a V then. It looks like the vast majority is saying V, so I'll do the V. Usually I'll do a round. Like I also prefer, I guess, the rounded look, but I guess some people like the V. So let's do the V. Josh says V for sure. Okay, cool. Let's try it out. So we'll start. Before I even do the V, I actually want to clean up a bunch of the neck hair. So I'll just go in with my trimmer and clean up the neck hair first. Just push this down. Let's do this side. Let's clean that up. Okay. Let's do it. So with this, I typically like to start in the center of the back of my head, and then I'll just create random lines going off in either direction like that, and then I'll just keep adjusting them and readjusting them as I look through the mirrors, going back and forth. So it's a little bit of a process. Again, this is probably like the hardest part out of any haircut that you ever give yourself. Anything fade or line up in the back of your head, always going to be the hardest part. So just take some deep breaths of air, relax yourself, and like know that you'll probably have to go back and forth a couple of times. Okay, just giving you the forewarning. That's what happens when you're doing the hardest part. Okay, so let's go in. The center of my head is about there. Let's draw in a line. Okay, there's a bit of one there. Let's do another one here. Let's actually rotate the mirror a tiny bit more so I can see a little bit better. There we go. Okay, let's fix the other side again now. All right. And what I can do, actually, because these mirrors are a little bit too big, let me grab my handheld mirror, which is in my bag over here. And then now I should be able to see it a little bit better. Okay, so that one's a lot higher than there. Center-wise, it's not too bad. A little bit crooked, but yeah. Okay, so that's fine like that. We'll even that in a little bit better. Okay, and then the center, roughly like that. Okay. So this one goes a bit higher. Just like that. Let's take a look with the mirror. That looks better. Let's do the right side again. The bottom part. Okay. Got it. Let's see. I think I need to go a little bit more on that side. A little bit more. I can actually cut a little bit of the back part. Yeah. And that one's a little bit more rounded. Okay. Cool. Okay. To the V. Okay, ready? Let me see again. Give it a little bit of that, a little bit of this. That looks okay. And that looks okay. All right. Should I trim the back a tiny bit more here or leave it? Is the question. I think that's fine. What I could do is actually blend in a bit of the line. That could help a little bit nice, make it a little bit nicer. So I'll go ahead, let's blend in that line a tad. Yeah, cool, all right. Let me grab my thinning shears here. Again, let me use the, Sammy says, I personally think the V is for young kids. Well, that's what most people wanted. So I'm giving the people what they wanted. Let me go ahead and use the thinning shears. I just want to clean up like the blend a little bit. I don't want the line to be super duper hard. I want to blend it in a tiny bit better. So let's see if I can use some reverse thinning shear method to soften up the line just a little bit so that it's not as hard. Where's my brush? Okay. That looks a little bit better there. Let's go. Yeah, so I do apologize for the camera not being the best angle. I do apologize, right? I can't really do too much about that unless I had somebody here recording me while I did all this. Which, if you guys want to help me pay for that, that'd be great. Otherwise, the tripod is what I have to deal with. Okay. I think that looks a little bit better now. Let me show you what it looks like. Yeah, it looks cool. It looks pretty cool. Now I just have to do the beard. All right, ready? So this is the front look. Here's the left side. Here's the back side. I'll do a little bit of a spin. And we got the right side. Right? Cool. So now I'm going to go in and do my beard. So I'm just going to clean up the neck. I'm probably just going to give myself like a beard fade. Honestly, just blend in this a little bit, leave the beard alone, just clean up the neck, do the mustache, maybe do my eyebrows, we'll see. And then we'll leave it like that. I don't want to do anything too crazy today with the beard, but yeah, that's the haircut. So if anybody wants to stay and watch me do my beard as well, by all means, you're more than welcome to stay. Okay, ready? So with the beard, I shall go in and move all this stuff out the way, actually. What I can do is this. I'll grab the mirror like that. I can bring you a little bit closer. Hopefully, please. Yes? Okay, there we go. So now we're a little bit closer. And now I can go in and shave my beard a little bit better. Right about there. How's that? Good? Let's do it. Okay. So let's do this. With the beard, I'm doing, well, typically whenever you use trimmers for your beard and you want to keep the length, you want to make sure that the top line runs parallel with the bottom line. Typically I'll start the line right above the Adam's apple and then do a parallel line this way, parallel line, so the top line on the beard and the bottom line on the beard run parallel with each other. This kind of elongates your jaw, just makes the jaw look a little bit longer, which of course makes you technically, scientifically more attractive. So that's what we're doing. Okay, let me, all my brushes, of course, are behind the mirror. Bravo. Let me get all the brushes. Where's the other one? Okay. All right, let me go in and just clean up the line. Okay, so that's good there. What I should do actually, put this back so I can rotate the camera, so I can actually see what I'm doing. Or rotate the mirror. I need to see the lines. So let's put the mirror back. So this way I can do the beard line. Just like this. Okay, that's fine. Let's do the left side. Okay. Bottom line looks good, right? Think so. Now let's do the top line. What is going on in the TikTok chat? Kelsey says I'm staying. Thanks, girls. Appreciate it. AD says looks good. Appreciate it, man. Do you want to trim your beard? Says Nicola. I'm currently doing that. Well, I'm just going to give myself a line up. And then, yeah, just going to clean up, give it a little bit of a fade in the corner here. Nothing too severe. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's do the top part of the line. Okay. Just making sure that the line is parallel. Looks decent. Let's do this one. Okay, let's clean this off. Now let me go in and blend the corner here, so the fade into the corner of the beard. Let's go ahead and blend that in. Where's my neck duster? Let's see. Okay, ready? So, this part I know a lot of people get tricked up on, but it's actually not that difficult. Especially because your beard is not as dense as, let's say, the back of your head. So it's actually a little bit easier to blend. So if we can remember, this was done with the trimmer. And then currently, let me see, what's the length of my beard? Let's grab the 1 guard. And let's see if this is accurate. Yeah, it's right around the 1 guard. So my beard is right around the 1 guard, lever closed, in length. So it should be relatively easy for me to blend in. So let's go ahead, grab our clipper with the lever open, and I'm only gonna go down like 3/4 of an inch, probably to like right there. And then I'll show you what I do next. Okay, and I'll do the same thing on this side. Okay, now I will go in and do basically the same exact thing I did with the fade. I'll go lever halfway to soften up the line a little bit. Then I'll go with the lever closed to flick out the top of the line. So relatively simple. And then I'll show you what I do after that to blend it in. So we're at lever halfway now. Just softening up the line a little bit. Okay, right side. Okay, let's go with the lever closed and flick out at the top. Also using the corners. Okay. All right. Now, since the length is the number 1 guard, I can actually put the 1 guard on, go over the corner part a little bit more. Just say that. And then, finally, I can use the half guard. Where's the half? Let's do this. Okay, let's grab the half guard and let's finish it up. Right in this area. Just using the corners. Okay. Okay. Very mild blend right there. And then I can just go in, do the mustache, and do the beard. Oh. Mike, what's up, Mike? Better than any barber, Alex. Appreciate that, man. Thank you. Yeah, I know there's like a weird little argument going on in the chat. I don't know what's going on there. MK from YouTube asks, do you recommend the Babyliss you have now? I definitely do. Yeah, if you have the budget for it, I would definitely recommend them. Yeah, these clippers, the trimmers, the foil shavers especially are really good. So if you can afford the $500, to get the clipper, the trimmer, and the foil shaver, they're definitely worth it if you plan on giving yourself haircuts for many years to come, right? The reason why I bought them is because I know I'm going to be cutting my hair for the rest of my life, right? If I'm 30 years old right now and I have hair until, into my 60s, it's like, well, there's another 30 years where I could potentially be using my clippers, trimmers, and foil shaver. So it's well worth the investment, especially because they're really good quality, right? And even so, it's interesting because my what's it called? My Glaker clippers and trimmers, my Glakers are about 2 to 3 years old also. So I bought them these are probably like 4 years old, maybe the Babyliss, 4, maybe even 5 years old by now. But yeah, I mean, even the cheap ones, right, that are $40 have lasted me 3 years so far. And so far, they're doing pretty good. But yeah, overall, these are built way better, perform a lot better than the cheaper ones. So yeah, if you're willing to spend the money, they are worth it. But if you're not willing to spend the money, then it's not, you don't need to, That's what I'm saying. Right? That's why they have affordable options. Like, wall magic clips, Glaker clippers and trimmers, things like that. Okay. Yeah, so what I'll do now, I'll just go ahead and answer a bunch of your questions, and then off camera, I'll finish off the mustache and eyebrows and all that stuff that you guys probably don't care about. So let me go ahead and let me just wipe this down real fast, and then I'll answer any questions that I'll go through the chat again and go through and answer your questions. Hey, let me see. How does it look? Oh. Cool. All right. CA says the V is too long. Yeah, well, if I cut it a little bit more, well, the thing is, my hair is literally right there. My hairline's right there. So, I mean, yeah, I could trim the end a little bit to make the V not look as long. But it is what it is, right? It's like every haircut looks different for a reason, and there's different names for every haircut. This can just be like the elongated V. Like there's no right and wrong, right? There's just that is different than this type of thing, right? It's a V-neck, exactly. It's a V-neck. It's literally a V-neck, just like your shirt, V-neck. That's funny. Professional pushback on the V, in my humble opinion. Listen, remember, this is a self haircut, bro. If I could cut somebody else's hair, it might look better, right? But remember, I've got to bend my arm like a doofus over here in order to get it to look right. Okay, so remember, the reason why people cut their own hair is not because they want to give themselves professional grade A barber haircuts. They want to save money and they want to give themselves a good enough haircut. Okay, so if you're offended, by all means, you can just leave and not watch. But if you're here to learn how to cut your own hair because you want to save money and learn a cool skill set and give yourself a million different varieties of haircuts, then by all means, stay and watch. Otherwise, it doesn't bother me if you're not here watching. It really doesn't. I've got way better things to do than listen to people on the internet be foolish. All right, let's go ahead and let's answer some of these questions here. I'm going to start with YouTube and see if I can go through here. Let's see. I'm going to start right here. Clout Gangster on YouTube says, "Are you Armenian from Glendale?" That's oddly specific. I am neither Armenian nor am I from Glendale. I don't even know where Glendale is. Diarian says, "Hi Ox, I don't know if you saw my question because I lost my connection, so I'm going to ask again, sorry. Can I do fade any clippers with adjustable lever?" Yeah, you can give your fade even without a lever, but the lever does help. So yes, you can give yourself a fade with any clipper that has an adjustable lever, but you also don't necessarily need it. The lever does help though. Can you play Greek? says Officer Turas. I don't know what that means. He said do an M, round, in. You taught me how to give myself a lineup. Appreciate that. LF says you look young. Appreciate that. Let's see. I learned how to give myself a neck lineup from you. Oh, thank you. Nicola says, do you want to trim your beard? I did. I answered that one, I'm pretty sure. MK asks, Alex, what's your trick for getting the jawline and the line near the ear even? Wait, what? What's your trick for getting the jawline and the line near your ear even? I mean, I think it's just a lot of practice using the mirrors and then also having the right type of tools, right? If you have the trimmers with the T-blade, that definitely helps when you're creating lines, if that's what you're asking for. So yeah, it's a lot of it's just practice. Make sure you have trimmers with a T-blade because they're longer, the blades are longer, and you can just stamp them in so it's a lot faster to give yourself the lineup. Zach, how did your friends react to your half buzz cuts? Curious. I don't have any friends. No, I'm not gonna say that. No, I mean, not many people really do, to be honest with you. Yeah, I don't have that many friends. I have a pretty small circle, and I try to keep it that way. Jay Murray says, Alex, I just want to say thank you for all your videos. I've been cutting my own hair for 2 years now, and I've been getting better and quicker at it. Thank you for all the tutorials and confidence. Appreciate that, man. Thank you. Yeah, I'm glad I could help. That's great. I've had the Babyliss trimmer for 3 years. Really happy with it. I love buzz cuts, and I'm never going back to long hair. Hey, man, you might as well. Why not? If the buzz cuts suit you, then so be it. I have now the wall magic clip, but you can't. The lever is continuously adjustable. I'm not sure what that means. LOL. So what was the reaction of the small circle? People prefer the longer hair. People prefer the longer hair. That's for sure. Yeah, the buzz cuts. Because the thing is, I've had a buzz cut basically all of my youth. So now that I'm older, it's like, and I don't have like balding spots. It just makes sense for me to have my hair to be longer. It's different. Officer Tura says, can you speak Greek? Ask me a question. I'll see if I can reply. I'm learning Greek. I'm not very good at it just yet, but I am pretty good at reading. I can read it very fluently. Understanding what I'm reading is a little bit different. But yeah, I can try. Then Mila Lenica. Let's see. Diakonis Simera. Diakonis. I guess you're asking me what am I doing tomorrow? Or is that Simera, is that today or tomorrow? see, it's like I get confused because the words are very similar. You said what are you doing today or what are you doing tomorrow? Something like that. Diakonis Simera. I started cutting my hair because of dry skin, and your videos were a huge help. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate that, man. Thank you. I'm glad I could help. That's what I'm here for. Alex, which clipper guards do you recommend? Honestly, the ones that I use. These guys right here, you can literally go, because you're here on YouTube too, if you go in the description of the live stream, you'll see my Amazon storefront link. These guys right here, you know, the super colorful guards that I use, were only $10. And they fit on pretty much every single clipper that I've ever had. Whether it's Wall, Babyliss, I'm pretty sure with Andis they work as well. They're literally $10. These are great clippers, or great guards. Highly recommend you guys check them out. All right, the Amazon storefront link that I have with all of the tools that I use for my self haircuts is in the description or in the, I guess, my profile. Irk, thoughts on T-Bob Slime 2 clipper set? I've never heard of that one. Never heard of that one. Yeah, what did you do today, I asked. Very good, keep going. Yeah. Yeah. Simanas today. What did you do today? Yeah. Ekanes, I guess, is the past tense. That's probably why I got confused. Because you could have said tikanis, which means, like, what are you up to? Like, what are you doing? But you said tiekanes, which I guess is the past tense. I'm always bad at the past tense versus present. I am buying a new trimmer and clipper from you today. Appreciate it, man. Yeah. Go the Amazon storefront has a few different options. I tried to do like beginner tier, medium, like intermediate tier, and then advanced tier in terms of like the budget, like under 100, 100 to 200, and then over 200. So whatever like fits with your budget is I have a few different options. Okay, let's see. Let me go ahead and jump on, see if Instagram has any questions. I know I've been completely ignoring the Instagram over here for a minute. Nothing that I can see recently, at least. I don't want to sit here scrolling. Mike, do you like a buzz cut or longer, Alex? I probably like medium, like a medium length. I wouldn't say I like it long because it's kind of a pain in the butt to deal with. The buzz cuts, I feel like they, depending on the type of haircut, can suit me well, but I feel like I like having length on top. I like having my hair up in the front. You know, I like having a style in the front and the top. It's just what I prefer. I think it just looks overall better for my face shape, and for like what I look like too. Do you have a video with the two guard all around? I do actually. I literally just did that haircut 2 weeks ago. If you go on my YouTube channel right now and go into the live stream tab, you'll see that I did a number two guard all over beginner buzz cut. I've done a whole bunch of number two guard buzz cuts. Yeah, yeah, of course, man. Slick back is the best for you. You know, I really enjoyed the slick back, especially when I did the 1930s inspired one where I shaved everything, just kept the mustache. I was like straight up like yeah, just clean shaved beard, just kept the mustache, and then the super slick back with like a mid fade. I thought it looked great. My fiance loved it. She was like, "Wow, you look like you're French." You know, it's funny. Every time I get a new like hairstyle, my fiance is like, "You look like a different race depending on the haircut that you give yourself." It's like with the 1930s one with the slick back, and when I just kept the mustache, she was like, "Oh, you look French." But then with the really long beard, she's like, "Oh, you look Arab." And then with like, I guess like medium-ish length on top with like a gentleman style, she's like, "Oh, now you look Greek." And then it's like, oh, well, it's like every time I like trim my face, my beard, my mustache, my haircut, it's like, oh, I look like a completely different person from like a different race, which is really fun. I think that's really fun about having the ability to cut your own hair. You can do like a whole, you can make yourself look like you're from somewhere else. Let's see, that's funny. Squatch foot, the V back. Yeah, we ended up doing the V back. Everybody wanted the V, or at least like I'd say 70% of the people that were voting in the chat said V. So I was like, all right, I'll do V. I prefer the rounded shape, but everybody wanted V, and so I gave the V, and so that's the V, right? We did the V because everybody wanted the V. Personally, I prefer the round. I don't think the V looks the best. Let's see. Let's round it up then. Well, you can't round it now. I've already cut the V. So I like the parts where I would leave hair, I already cut that. So I can't really go back and do the U or the rounded look. The looks fire. Appreciate it, man. The cut's tough. Thanks, brother. Appreciate it. Let's see. Choo 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 choo. Mid fade or low fade? I don't know. I think they both look nice. I really like the low fade. I like the low fade a lot. The low fade looks nice, but I think the mid fade has its own. They're both, I don't know, they both suit a different type of personality or confidence level that you're going for. I guess it's like a certain, it's a different look. It's like asking me who's better, Ronaldo or Messi. You can't really ask that question because they play two different positions. Messi is a different soccer player than Ronaldo. So it's kind of like low fade versus mid fade versus low fade. It's like, well, they're two different. It's like you're going for a different outfit. So it's hard for me to really say. But I like both of them a lot. I like both of them better than a high fade, if I can say that. Yeah, low fade is for a little bit longer hair, I would say. Yeah, low fade's for a little bit longer hair. Venko says, I hope that Spain is winning. Well, the game starts at 3, yeah? It starts in 45 minutes. So Spain is playing Argentina, I believe, yeah. So let's see. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm thinking Spain might be able to win it. They've got, you know what's funny? Every time Spain's played, I'm like, they're gonna sub in Marino at the last 10 minutes. And because he's like their secret weapon. Marino is like their secret weapon. So every time they sub that man in, the man freaking scores. I'm like, this guy's their secret weapon. That's why he doesn't start. They literally sub him in the last 10 minutes. And dude scores. Lep asks, what race did your fiance think you were with the half buzz? I don't know. I think I still looked Greek with the half buzz because I kept my beard kind of like how I have it now. I feel like it's like, I don't know, it's a good question, but I feel like I still looked like I was Greek. Fresh cut for the final. Yeah, exactly. Angel, what's up, Angel? Argentina's playing right now. No, I think they're playing in like 45 minutes. Yeah, like 45 minutes or so. Anyway, all right, you guys. Listen, I appreciate everybody that joined, had a good time. I know a few people left an order for my products here. I don't know if it was like a Organobalm order or my hairstyling product order. So whoever made the purchase on my website, thank you guys so much for that. I'm going to close out the YouTube live because I only have like a few percentages left of battery. So if you guys want to jump on, I'll be on TikTok and Instagram for a few more minutes, just answering a few other questions. So if you're on YouTube, jump over to TikTok or Instagram. I'll be on for like a couple more minutes because the phone's about to die. But yeah, thank you guys. God bless. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend.